Step 3. We made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understand Him. Step 4. We made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. Step 5. We admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. Step 6. We were entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. Step 7. We humbly asked Him to remove these shortcomings. Step 8. We made a list of all the persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. Step 9. We made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. Step 10. We continued to take personal inventory and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. Step 11. We sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understand Him, praying only for knowledge of His will and the power to carry that out. Step 12. Having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to others and to practice these principles in all our affairs. Those present were mostly quite unlike me, but there was one man there, Bob, whom I knew. Bob worked at a boys' home where I worked part-time. I had always considered him a gentle, caring soul, a loner who was often absent from work. He would return in a few days, sometimes a week or so, and would not discuss or explain his whereabouts. Bob had been drinking episodically for most of his adult years and was a long-term member of AA. The home's administrator accepted his marginal dependability, probably in exchange for low wages and no complaints. He was kind, sincere, and well-liked by the boys under his care. Bob spoke to me about his own lifelong struggle to remain sober. He seemed to avoid answering my many questions about the 12-step program and said, almost wistfully, "Here, read this book. We call it the Big Book. It tells us all we need to know in order to live with our disease." I watched him intently throughout that meeting, not because I wanted to be like him, but because I was afraid that perhaps I was like him. He seemed hopeless about himself, about life, even about his future, but he spoke reverently of the program he had studied carefully for many years, even while his disease progressed. This was not adding up. I thought I had come to a meeting of former drinkers who would explain to me how they quit drinking. I fully expected that they would inspire me to knock it off, to help me grin and bear the difficulties of quitting, and perhaps to offer me some encouragement when I felt tempted to drink. I already sensed that sooner or later my drinking would have to come to a halt. Later, of course, sounded much better than sooner. I later learned that halt had another meaning in AA, that the letters HALT stood for hungry, angry, lonely, and tired, 4 daily occurring conditions under which the fellowship predicts people will drink alcohol unless they are working a good program. My perception that AA was religious was confirmed when I read the Big Book. As a well-churched person, I had read that kind of material for many years. I commented on this at a meeting, and someone explained that religions are not geared to handle alcoholism, that alcoholic priests and ministers come to AA because they need more than their religions can provide. Someone else chimed in to reassure everyone that AA is nevertheless compatible with all religions, and, in fact, AA has salvaged many from alcoholism and sent them back to become upstanding members of their churches. I accepted this explanation not only because I had more pressing concerns than to debate the matter, but because I did not feel like challenging this group of sincere, well-meaning people who, it would seem, knew more about alcoholism than I did, and who agreed with each other on absolutely everything. Take what you like and leave the rest, they said. So that is what I did. I eventually left the religious 12 steps, each of them, but took the disease concept as my own. The disease idea clicked profoundly within me. The moment I thought of drinking as a symptom of a disease I had probably inherited, it felt as if a great responsibility had been lifted from my shoulders. My guts settled down, and I could suddenly see my own behavior in a different light. No longer did it seem that I was behaving stupidly and irresponsibly. No longer did I sense an urgent need to quit drinking alcohol. And no longer did it make sense for me to damn myself for my behavior. I was simply doing what we alcoholics do. We eat to live and live to drink, knowing that tomorrow